Grand rising, all kings and queens, all gods and goddesses, all beautiful people. I am Be Floss to God, and today I just want to share a manifestation story. How I successfully manifested money, yet still unsuccessfully manifested money. All right, now let me explain. Now, around September, right, I did an imaginal act where I was counting money in my mind, in my imagination. Right now, I just tested this because usually when I do my imaginal acts and it has anything to do with money, like I would see myself receiving a check, which implies that the check is mine, right? I would imagine myself receiving a check from myself, or I would imagine myself going shopping and buying certain things, and buying certain things with the money, implying that the money is mine, right? Or I would imagine myself telling a friend I received such and such amount of money, right? But this time I just decided, to count money in my imagination, right? Right. So around September, I did the imaginal act where I was counting money in my imagination, couple hundreds and fifties, but it wasn't a specific amount, I was just counting at random, right? And what happened a week after that, I was outside in my veranda reading one of my Neville Goddard's books, right? And the same time, a partner of mine, he was passing by. So he stopped and and he asked me if I have a Western Union card, right? Because he didn't own any, right? So I told him, yes, I do have a Western Union card, right? So he was like, he asked me if I could do him a favor, if I can do a transaction for him, right? To send some money to a friend for him overseas. So I told him, all right, that's no problem. I have no problem doing it for you, right? So at that same time, he took out the money and he gave me it, right? And I can't remember the amount it was, but it was hundreds and fifties though. So while it was there sitting and he gave me the money, I took it and I counted it. I was just like counting it the same way I did in my imagination, right? But it didn't click to me there and then. It was only afterwards when I did go to do the transaction, right? As I was standing in the queue, as I was standing in the line waiting my turn to do the transaction for him, I took out the money again out of my pocket and I started to count. And I started to count it, the hundreds and the fifties. And it was there and then now that it clicked. I was like, shit, this is the manifestation, right? This is exactly what he did in my imagination. This is exactly how he was counting the money in my imagination. So this was the manifestation, right? But I wasn't upset or nothing. It just goes to show how powerful your imagination is and how good it is and how important it is to be specific. Be very specific on what it is you want and how you want to obtain your goal, right? But not really how it's going to come about because you're not in charge of how it's going to come about. But be as specific as you can, right? And it was only then and there now that it clicked. I was like, shit, this is the manifestation, right? Yeah, so it was successful due to the fact that I actually manifested the money, but it was unsuccessful due to the fact that the money was not mine. Because in my imagination, counting it, I would assume that, by me counting the money, that it was mine, right? But you can be counting money, but that doesn't mean, as you can see from my situation, that it would be implying that the money is yours, right? So usually when I'm imagining, right, I go straight to the end. Usually with my imaginary acts, I would see myself, as I said before, receiving a check for money or telling a friend about the good news, or me going shopping and buying certain things for myself and playing that the money is mine. But this time, I was just counting the money, right, in my imagination. So this is how it all played out. The bridge of incidents was him coming to me, and asking if I had a Western Union card because he didn't have none, and me doing the transaction for him, right? And that is how the manifestation unfolded, right? So I did manifested counting the money, right? But it was unsuccessful, being that the money was not mine. All right, so it's very good to be specific on what it is, that you really really want in terms of your manifestation. So if you want to manifest money, you could imagine seeing yourself receiving a check or telling a good friend about the news, or just see yourself buying whatever it is that you want to buy, right? I mean, I'm not saying that you can't imagine counting money, and and the money will end up being yours, but just to be on the safe hand, it'd be wise to be very specific, because as you can see from my experience here, the money wasn't mine, right? So that's basically it. And once again, I would like to thank everybody for subscribing, and supporting as usual. And I just hope everyone have a blessed day today. And I'm sending my peace and love and joy and prosperity out to everyone as usual. And do have a blessed day. Be close to God. I'm out.